Balancing work and French studies for the Canadian PR can be really overwhelming and daunting to say the very least. Trust me, I've been there too. But with the right strategies, it's definitely possible for you to manage both effectively and work towards your PR goals. I'm Akshara and I cleared the TEF Canada exam right from scratch in 13 months. And I have created this channel only to talk about my journey and to help you avoid mistakes that I did during my learning journey. So, if you're new here, do hit the subscribe button below as I post new videos every single week related to French learning, TEF Canada, and the Canadian immigration through French proficiency. So, in this video, let's break down the huge task of learning French along with your work into, actionable steps so that you can sort of incorporate this into your daily life, your daily routine. So, let's get right into the video now. First things first is planning. Planning is super crucial when you have, limited time, and it's really important for you to plan ahead as to how you will give time to French. Start off by creating like a detailed weekly schedule, and you can allot specific time for your work, study, and of course, all your other things. Here, let me please tell you that do make sure that you are realistic about your time commitments. When you overcommit and not study, it only leads to a negative loop of feeling overwhelmed and then eventually towards burnout. So, for example, if you work 9 to 5, let's say, you can set aside an hour in the morning for French studies and another hour in the evening. Weekends, you can use them more intensively for your study sessions. The point here is you have to be consistent, even if it is just 2 hours a day. Take that like for a span of 6 to 8 months, you would have come along very far, right? So it's all about the compounding effect for sure. And that takes to my next point, which is set specific goals. Instead of vague goals like learn French, set clear objective goals like, master 50 vocabularies words this week or complete 2 chapters of the grammar book. This sort of provides a sense of accomplishment when you finish it, and it sort of keeps you motivated. Write down these goals regularly and review them. They, of course, keep evolving, but make sure that you set attainable goals. Personally, when I was studying, I would take care of all of the aspects of learning except writing, of course, because I was really lazy to write, and I always felt like I would make a lot of mistakes, and that just led to procrastination. Even then, every single day in my to-do list, I wrote write 2 essays. And while I was adding to that list, I knew that I wouldn't write anything that day, but more like I was doing it as a force of habit because I was writing down all of the other things that I would be focusing on. And it just felt wrong that, if I don't write anything, at least if I don't mention it in the to-do list. But that eventually only led to, negative loop for me personally, because every time I would write that down, and then when I came back, of course I had not written anything that day, I would just get frustrated, and it would just repeat every single day. So I never found the motivation to actually sit down and write an essay. So it's very important for you to write attainable goals. And when I say write specific goals, like go really into it. On your to-do list, just don't write, study French for 4 hours. Be very, very specific with what you like to target that particular day. Write down what you want to do for that day or week, or whatever works out for you, and go as comprehensive as possible. Sure, it does take some 5 to 10 minutes of your time before starting off, but definitely that sets the tone and gives you a direction on what you want to do. It basically sets the tone and makes you more in charge and in control of what you're going to do. You can take some time out for you to focus as well, to analyze, and then based on what areas you need focus, you can write down accordingly and then go forward with your study plan. For example, I used to write down things like very specifically, like today I will do 30 minutes of conjugation, listen to 2 audios, do one grammar exercise on prepositions, speak to myself for 5 minutes, read 2 articles on TV 5 month. These were how my targets for the day looked like. Again, it's very important for you to set attainable goals. Don't just write things that are too far off. Write things that based on how much time you want to give for that day, so that you do feel that sense of accomplishment when you come back and look at it, that okay, I finished all of these things. And that gives you motivation for you to come back the next day and do it all over again. So the next point is use effective study techniques. We often think that, just sitting and putting in those 4 hours a day of time, will help us a lot. Yes, that is true, but we forget that those hours that we are putting in has to be really efficient. If you're just running off from somewhere and then trying to study and you're not in that mindset, or you're distracted by multiple things, if there's a lot of noise around, there's a lot of chaos going on, and then you're trying to study and you're distracted, it's not very efficient, right? Even if you're giving just 2 hours a day, give 2 hours of quality time. Set tone, set up an environment where you can study. Make sure that it is very active. If you're watching a video, for example, on YouTube, just don't take it up as like a video that you're watching. You have to be really efficient. Sit with a book. Try to break down the video, write vocabulary, try to learn their pronunciations, try and understand what that video is about and summarize it to yourself in French. These are some techniques that can be active learning methods, and just watching a video also can be really effective if you are able to find different ways that work for you and incorporate them into your study schedule. And it's very important for you to break down these study sessions into chunks. Like, you can try the Pomodoro technique that always worked for me. It basically is studying for 25 minutes and then giving yourself 5 minutes of break. That can be really effective because studying a language definitely is tiring, and it was something that helped me uh, with maintaining concentration and also making sure that I don't get exhausted easily, because learning a language can be challenging for your brain, and just mindlessly spending hours will not be effective. So take some breaks. During these breaks, do something relaxing. Just close your eyes, breathe deep, stretch, whatever that makes you feel good, and then get back into it, and then you'll get into the flow again. Another effective strategy for you is to find different ways to incorporate French into your daily life. Listen to French podcasts during your commute, watch French movies or series in the evenings, and the best thing is try to think in French whenever possible. Try to convert your mind language into French. This immersive approach will help you reinforce whatever you have learned, and that way you're constantly thinking all day long about either prepositions or conjugations, or it becomes a lot more holistic and more like less of studying is a chore sort of a thing. So if you want a recommendation for some movies or series, you can check out my video on French series that will help you improve your listening skills. And you can start watching that and try to incorporate that as a part of your daily routine for learning French. Because I truly believe that one size doesn't fit all. There are various ways to engage yourself into the language. Eventually, when you get into the flow of the learning process, you will start evaluating what is effective for you, what works for you, and what's something that is not enjoyable for you. And slowly you yourself will start finding small ways to indulge actively, as well as passive ways you will find for you to learn the language. You will start putting efforts for the language to become a part of your daily life, in the smallest ways possible. For example, if you are living in Canada, a small tip would be that you can start reading the labels on all the food products. They are all bilingual, and then you can start trying to read, analyze, and see that if you're able to understand something, and it's a great way for you to pick up vocabulary as well. So you can definitely try that out. And the next strategy here I would like to talk about is find ways to leverage your work environment. If your work, like your job involves any downtime, use it to review vocabulary or listen to French audio lessons. Try to integrate study into your work day as well, because That way you will also feel less overwhelmed, because if you, like I said, if you're having a long commute, you can practice speaking, or you can listen to something, or you can just read something on your phone. If you scroll through Instagram and follow some French pages, you can use that for entertainment as well as try to consume the language as well. um Instagram, YouTube, whenever you get a break, that's what we do, right? Whenever we have some time off, we mindlessly just pick up our phone and start scrolling on Instagram or YouTube. This is sort of a good way for you to use this for your benefit to learn the language. Start following creators on Instagram, be it lifestyle, sports, car, whatever genre that you like to consume, and soon your page will start throwing only French content, and automatically, at least now, you're consciously or maybe subconsciously even consuming some content every single day. And beyond all of this, the most important thing is for you to take care of your mental and physical health. Balancing work and study for sure can be really stressful. So it's very important for you to sleep, get some good sleep and try to exercise as well. Trust me, physical exercise can take you a really long way. There have been months where I've been extremely frustrated with the language and sort of lost interest and wanting to throw everything away, because I was just getting agitated that I'm not seeing any results. And when I have been having a proper schedule with learning language as well as, doing my work, having a proper work schedule as well as finding some way, for some physical activity, I have seen huge difference, to be very honest. So I think learning a language can be very exhausting mentally, and you need something to channelize it towards, and physical exercise can be really helpful for that. So even if it's just taking some small walk to clear your mind and to calm yourself down, it really helps you to reduce your stress as well as concentrate better. So definitely do try to inculcate that into your everyday schedule as well. And finally, the most important strategy is for you to stay positive and patient. Learning a language is not a sprint, it is a marathon, like I always keep saying. There will be ups and downs, and some days you feel great. Everything is going very well, but at the same time, suddenly, something goes wrong and you feel like you've lost sight of everything. But remember that persistence is the only thing that will pay off. Do celebrate your progress, no matter how small it is. You know, you have come a long way already. So it's very important for you to surround yourself with like positive influences and keep reminding yourself why you're doing this. Yes, PR is a goal, but beyond all of that, you're also picking up a huge skill for life that opens up doors for so many opportunities in your life and your career. So do keep going. And yes, this was all about the different strategies that can help you juggle French and work for your PR dream. And if you're trying to figure out what's the best method to get started off, you can book a session with me and I can help you based on what are your goals. You can find the link in the description below and you can schedule a session with me and we can get connected. And if you also have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below and I'll definitely answer it for you. That's it for this video. Good luck on your learning journey and I'll see you in the next one. A bientôt.